And we're live. On February 12th this year, a Norwegian student found a boat launched by a New Hampshire middle school in February 2020, after it floated thousands of miles and for more than 2 years. Wow. It even had a note that stayed intact. And that note said, "We can't think of anything that would stop us having a great school year."
Wow.
1,000 Questions is an entertaining discussion of marriage we aren't telling.
1,000
Questions is an entertaining discussion of marriage we aren't telling you to do or feel or change anything about your life. Really, just listen and enjoy. And if you need real help, find a professional for your specific problem. We don't know you. How could we speak to your deal? Okay, have fun.
Hey, welcome everybody to 1,000 Marriage Questions, the show that answers the question, how dangerous is it to really be a comedian?
Yeah.
So
I know cops who have had less guns drawn on them than you, Brad.
Well, we'll talk about that in a second. Welcome. Hello, Joe Marlotti, first of all. It's good to see you back.
Hey,
Hello,
it's good
Donna,
to be back.
I played that little video, not because the joke was that great, although it was good, but this is about our 2-year anniversary, Donna. I don't know if you knew that. So it's
happy anniversary.
Right happy anniversary, which shows how the world has been for the last 2 years that we've been in this thing. And before that, we never did this before. And I will show you this.
You got me a present?
Oh, nice.
You got me a present.
It's a bucket.
Your birthday. I did. The bucket still has literally.
We didn't make it.
We have gotten through in 2 years. Very few.
Wait, are those the ones that we did, or the ones?
These are the ones we've done. In 2 years, we've done this many questions.
This is going to take 80 years.
It would take. Well, the good question is, over half of these are whether a woman should take it up the butt or not. So that's the good part. Every other one is probably about that. Or what do you do? Again, what do you do if the kids knock on the door? So there's a lot of repeats. But
we've addressed pretty much every issue there is, I think, at this point.
And I have not started even doing the bit again on ships, because still they're not good with me putting out questionnaires and getting close to people and stuff like that. So that leads me to first this question, then we'll take the first question, which will be about the thing. Joe, it's been 6 months now. We're back on cruises. Is your wife missing you? You can be funny first and then tell us.
It was a double whammy, because right about the time we started doing cruises again, we decided to move. So, and I literally, as you may recall, we moved on a Thursday. We sold our house on a Thursday. We moved into our new house on a Friday, and I left for a cruise on a Saturday.
Oh,
and we're still together because I just think she can't.
Hanging by a thread.
Yeah, she hasn't found a good divorce lawyer yet. But but I'm gone a lot, and she's here alone, and I think she likes this place, which is good, because it's if she didn't, boy, I'm sure I'd hear it. But when I'm home, I know she gets annoyed pretty quick. So I guess being away is good.
Oh, being away is good. I don't know, because my wife, because we have been gone a lot, because Joe and I both. Carnival has been great because they really need a lot of acts right now. I could have worked, and Joe, literally every day pretty much, and been home 2 days in the last 7 months and made a ton of money.
Yep.
But I took all of March off. I worked from the early January until February 26th with only 3 days at home.
Wow. How did that work out?
Well, Janet came with me on at least 10 days of cruising.
That's illegal.
Well, but no, she had her own cabin. I had my cabin. We just
you never went into each other's.
I never went in her cabin.
Yes.
Were you fraternizing with the guests?
Yeah, well, you better not be fraternizing with the guests.
I better not be fraternizing. I did not sleep overnight in her cabin. I will say that honestly.
Okay.
I did not sleep.
With your wife.
Please God, get out.
With my wife during that.
Yeah. You can make a pillow fort with her, though. That'd be fun. That'd be great. Oh, Brad froze in the coolest pose I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I gotta take a
In my
screenshot.
back. Did you get a picture of it? In my
Oh,
back?
that's fantastic. Yes.
Yeah, my internet always falls apart during this show only.
You gotta watch that later. That was good.
That was a good one.
I can't do it. I can't do
Let's
it.
do it again. He just keeps. There you go.
So, okay. So the point is, now that we're kind of back,
Talks with his hands. That's why.
is that now when I leave soon, she likes having me around, even if she doesn't spend time with me, just to have someone to do stuff. Or, at night, of course, I have to rub on her legs and arm, feet, and back for like 3 hours. And she's going to miss that. What?
Yeah. That always helps to do that. Yeah, I found that the when we're home, we do laugh a lot. It seems like we laugh a lot more than we used to. And I think that's just because I'm a really good comic.
That's right. You're a professional.
I'm sure that's why.
It says
I'm
right
sure
there.
that's why.
Professional
That's right.
comedian.
Professional comedian. All right. Well, just wondered. So anyway, here's the first question. Are you ready? My husband, what should I do? My husband got irrational after a comedian made fun of me, and he physically attacked the comedian. Now we're all in a melee. What should I do? Okay, so
go to therapy.
Yeah.
Signed
JPF. Yeah.
Giant J. So here's my question, though. This is about the two sides. There's the women empowerment side, and then there's the you better take care of your woman side. And I'm more like my wife. You know what? If it's words, I think she should be able to defend herself. Unless it gets really bad, then I'm stepping in. But I think she is powerful. She can take care of stuff.
Let me ask this, because this does come up where, let's say usually it's like your mom is so mean to me and you don't even say anything and you don't even got my back and you don't even tell her whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, I don't think a wife expects the guy to slap his mom, but like, I think I would say it's important to speak up and say like, hey, watch your mouth around my wife. Or something like that, like to speak up and not to just stand there like this and take it, woman, go deal with it. I'll just get your back. Like, I think you should say something.
Sure.
But like, I think the woman should say something too. Like, you support your lady and she should be like, hey, that's not cool. That hurt my feelings. Like, don't do that. Like, but she needs you next to her, behind her, supporting her, going, you get them. I got you.
Like Ketanji Brown Jackson's husband is right there. She's doing all this, and at the end, he takes her and says, "It's my wife. We're here for you. We're everything, and you need me to talk, and I will." I mean,
it's kind of like that. And I think they're handling it really well, because there's people saying really rude stuff about that lady.
That's right.
And her husband knows she can speak up for herself, and like with me, I would be able to speak up for myself. Like, so if I was her, I would be really embarrassed if my husband got aggressive and physical because someone said something rude to me. If they were like coming after me and gonna hurt me, yeah, please get in there and fight them off. But if someone's saying something rude, don't get all like that, because that's embarrassing, and I don't want to be married to someone like that.
Joe?
My first thought immediately when that happened was, good for him. He stood up for his wife.
Really?
Yep. And then immediately after that, I thought, that's probably not the right way to think about that, because I'm a comedian. So what he did was absolutely the worst thing. That's our worst occupational nightmare, is to have somebody attack the stage. That's it. Nothing's worse.
I've had it happen.
And it's happened. It happened to you. I read your post today, and that's amazing. I've had stuff thrown at me, and when stuff gets thrown at you from the dark, you can't see it coming. It's terrible. Yeah.
I got a guy threw a condom once in a wrapper, and it cut my eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I had on a ship a guy so mad at me, and
a guy threw a condom at you.
Yeah, a condom. He threw a condom at me.
That's an interesting thing to throw at a comedian.
Well, I was talking about condoms.
Yeah.
It was a bit I was doing about condoms, and then I don't know what happened or how I made fun of this guy, but he threw a condom at me. So, and I had somebody on the ship, a guy was mad. He came up with a glass and put it over his head like he was going to hit me in the face with it, and in front of everybody. And then he changed his mind at the last second and smashed it on the table and walked out of on the stool, and he walked out.
People get so angry.
Did you see that's Vince Morata watching here that just gave
That's
us? That's one of my good friends from Chicago. Great comedian.
I first thought he's on the show twice. So on the virtual show, what I thought at first when he said it was that the joke was even without the propecia stuff. The joke was kind of a compliment because Demi Moore's gorgeous, starring. She looks great. Anyway, I think Jada looks beautiful. So I thought it's kind of a compliment that you'd be,
I actually didn't even hear the joke. I don't know the joke. Like I saw everything about after the joke, but I didn't even hear the joke.
It was hurtful. It was not well thought out. I think he probably made up that joke as he was just scanning the audience. It almost looked like it wasn't a good joke. It was kind of beneath Chris Rock standards. And as a matter of fact, if he would have made a joke about if my wife had some sort of disability or some sort of health issue, and he made a joke about that, hell yeah, I'd want to slap him.
I'd say something.
Not in front of 11 million people. Like Mark Sweeney said, this is something you take care of out by the dumpster. You don't walk in front of the millions of people and hit somebody. No. That's battery, and he's got proof of it happening, and he's got 11 million witnesses. If Chris Rock wants to go ahead and press charges, he is rich.
Well, but as far as marriage is concerned, I would be somebody who would bring this up. I'd say, hey, excuse me, because he had 11 million people. Excuse me, Chris, so her disease, that's funny what you have. What you've got there.
Yeah, that's calling him on it. That would be,
if he had a platform to talk and not just yell, he could have said, and Chris would have been right there. Yeah, you're right, I guess. So, but I just don't see this. I don't think violence, when there's no violence, is ever the way to go. I just think it just doesn't. It
like
makes
instigating violence.
Yeah. Well, and it makes us all talk about Will Smith and what he did, and not what Chris did, which was like everybody be if Will Smith would have just stood up quietly, reached his hand out, grabbed his wife's hand, and walked out the door, that would have
been much more powerful.
You know what we'd be talking about right now? What a jerk Chris Rock is.
Yeah, but he knew he was going to win Best Actor, so he had to hang around. So
yeah. Well, no, he could have come back later. Maybe. And then, even though I think it's horrible, they've given him a big standing ovation. That speech he gave was the whiningest.
That was bull crap.
Yeah, that was
crap.
Okay. So
yeah, he was just justifying himself. And here's the sad part: is he justified himself by saying, Richard Williams was a fierce defender of his family. Richard Williams came out after that and said, "You don't hit people."
Yeah, no. Richard Williams said, "No, you don't get the Oscar. You're out.
Yeah, no,
you don't get to use me."
Yeah. Hey, yeah. I'm surprised Richard Williams didn't say, "You keep my name out of your," you know what I'm saying?
Bleeping mouth. Yeah, keep my name out of your mouth. So, all right. Well, that's probably enough of that. So, but okay. So Donna, though, in meeting with couples like you do for a living, have you ever had any kind of situation where she's like, he goes overboard, I don't need that much protecting, and he's,
Yeah, like all the time. And it's typically a problem, like impulse control problem, emotional regulation problem. If this is how he acts in public, I'm really nervous for how he acts in private. If this is how he acts in front of people, like how does he act behind closed doors? And it's big red flag, big red flags.
Oof. So stop it, Joe. Okay. Now, what'd you do? I don't know. Here we go. Now a real question. How can you tell your wife is tired of you in bed?
Tired of you.
How good you are doing. She's over your sexual techniques are stale, maybe.
When she tells you, she'll be like, "Can we change them out?"
I don't think women always tell. I think they're just like the get it over plan. Okay.
Usually,
not over 40. If you're over 40, like she's probably pretty much going to tell you.
Yeah.
If you don't listen, then I'm with Elena. Just just going to avoid him.
Yeah. What about if she falls asleep during the actual lovemaking? Is that?
Well, I
mean-
don't know what happens. Well, I have the problem. What if I
That'd
actually
be
wake
really
her up?
relaxing, or she's really drunk.
Yeah. What if I wake her up during the sex act? That's the other problem. That's the one I have a problem with.
There's one to think about.
Okay, don't watch out. Don't wake her up on this one.
Don't wake her up while she's sleeping.
Yes.
No, that's
Well,
like
she-
not
she'll tell
consent. You're really not supposed to do that.
What if she drops her phone? That's the other one. You know,
Yeah,
that's,
yeah. That's what
yeah,
she,
What?
yeah. When she says, "Oh, I got the Wordle," then she's probably
Yeah, that's the
little-
thing.
That's probably over you.
When
During the process.
Yeah,
during
during the
with
process.
friends,
Yeah.
she's like, oh god, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it's good when
Yeah.
she doesn't finish the crossword. That's
Right.
the-
When
Right,
she when she is watching TikTok videos while you're having sex, that might be a sign that it's
Yes.
over. I'm just
or
saying.
if she's making one during the
That's
falling
even
asleep during
that
it's
might
over.
actually spice things up a little. You know, good. That's a good idea. I'm making a note of that one too.
So I'm
Although
going
she
to
said
tell you,
probably-
I found out about something.
What?
So this could go in line with that. When she starts making appointments with the tantric masseur.
Oh yeah.
There are
Oh.
people who give tantric massages.
Yeah.
That was big back in Kellogg's day. You know, Kellogg from Kellogg's. Back in his day, there were doctors that would women would come in and they would manipulate them and and make them have a whaty who. So
Yeah, hoo.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hoo.
So yeah, I think if she's making appointments with any other guy, you might want to think about that.
But if she's not saying anything, there's so many signs that are going to be there, we're joking about them all, but they're pretty true. She's like,
Well,
go ahead. Or
If you get right down to it, a married woman should honor her husband. It says so. In the
Yes,
vows.
that's right.
So she shouldn't. If she's over it, then she better not show it. She better just
Oh,
like a good
Yeah.
wife, right?
That's right.
Right.
No,
Well,
I've been watching the historical record, The Handmaid's Tale. And
Oh, that's
a
very
historical
close to being a
documentary.
Yeah.
that's a historical documentary of
Yeah.
Trump back in office. But that's that or Texas right now. And that tells me, wait, here we got one. You know what? There you go. Maybe introduce.
Yeah, but
toys.
your question was, how can you tell? So
How can you
Yeah,
tell?
you
How
have
can
to
you
know
remedy
first.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jeff, you have to know first. So the biggest advice is ask, is it not going well? I think
Yeah.
to be serious, hey, you don't look like you're into it, or so.
That happened recently in our relationship. I actually had to come out and ask because my wife is she's not effusive about things like that. And she's really bad about telling me if anything's bothering her. She likes for me to guess. So at one point I had to ask if she wasn't as interested in sex anymore. And she said, what's that? So
you forgot what it is.
That was a good.
yeah, that's a good sign.
That was a very Jack Benny way you just did that joke. If Jack Benny could have talked about sex, that was the perfect. Oh, Mary came to me and said,
We're
I
talking
said,
about-
what? How's the sex? She goes, what's that? Oh, Don. That's good. That was good. You should open with that. My wife, I tried to introduce toys, but the Play-Doh just wasn't going anywhere. We had that machine squirting that thing out. It was the wrong toys.
Okay, you don't need to paint the picture. You really don't.
Okay, I could paint the picture. So,
The Play-Doh Fun Factory. Is that what's happening there?
Yes, we got the Play-Doh factory out on the bed.
Play-Doh Fun Factory happening.
That's right.
Spaghetti.
Because even that doesn't say very stiff. You can make
No.
anything on Play-Doh, but it is not going to work. So no, nor when you plug the electricity into it, doesn't work at all. Now this is the stupidest question. I'm still not getting this. How do you ask your wife to have sex?
Wait,
if you're
pause. What's with that comment?
I thought that was pretty funny. Actually.
What comment? Oh, here
He
you
said
go.
introduce
Hot Wheels.
toys, and then he comes in with Hot
How
Wheels.
the heck is that a toy?
Hot
for
Wheels is
that.
a toy. Hot
It's a
Wheels
toy.
is a
How
It's
are you
not
going to use that?
an
How are you going to
appropriate
use
toy.
that in the area of intimacy. How are you going to use that? Tell me.
Track. Hit him
Over,
with the
over
track.
your body?
Slap him with the track. That orange track, baby. Smack, 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 smack with the track.
The track. Yeah.
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 Or he's talking about the Rolling Stones album, the Hot Wheels. Is there a
That's,
Hot
yeah.
Wheels?
No, he's
Turn
not.
on the music?
No, they're not. No. Hot Wheels. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if that's, I
He's
don't.
right, though. It is better than Play-Doh.
Yeah, better. It's better than Play-Doh. Better
Yeah,
than
yeah.
Play-Doh. And you know what? You lose a couple of those cars, you're in real trouble. That's all
Okay,
it is.
moving on.
Come on, let's move on. Are we kidding? Wait, somebody sent me a different message. Okay. No, it was about comics getting knocked out. How do you ask your wife to have sex if you're in mixed company? Huh?
When are you going to do that?
Why? Why are you asking your wife to have sex?
Hey, let's
How
go
about this?
right now.
No, you stop. Wait, everybody during dinner. Honey, are we going to gild the lily tonight? Are we going to, hey, later we've got to jumble the mumble. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing in mixed company asking that?
Well,
Yeah.
and why is this the
That's the
time to ask?
time?
I don't understand.
That's the weirdest question I've ever heard.
I know. And the handwriting's really good. I don't know if you can
What
see it.
mixed company? What does that even mean with mixed company? Just
I
other
thought
people?
that's like males and females, or is
Yeah.
it adults and children? Like,
Are they trying to have sex with the other people too? Is that? I just,
Yeah,
why
it's
is it
kind of a
so
vague question.
imperative?
is it a group thing? Is that what they're saying? How to have sex with all the people in the mixed company?
And why does it have to happen right now? Why is now? Why can't you wait, honey, can we maybe?
I need to know right now. Right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Are we
not
doing it?
upset
Are we not
mentally.
doing it?
I don't know. Does anybody have any ideas on this? I don't
I
understand.
think it's a bad question. I'm not a big fan of that question because it's too ambiguous. Although,
How do you ask your wife to have sex if you are in mixed company? I don't. By the way, everybody,
I
honey
think,
would
the,
like
que-
to
I
have
think the
sex.
way to do it would be like, hey, honey, you want to have sex?
Yeah, I don't.
Anybody?
Anybody? Sorry. We're going to go.
Chime in.
Enjoy dessert.
Chime
We're
in.
gonna
Hey,
go,
you know what? My wife and I
yourself
are
a
going
drink.
to go talk privately in the other room.
We got to get
Here you go. If you want to embarrass your adult children, that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Mom and
I
I
don't know
are
about
gonna go. Mom and I are gonna go play a little tag with the Hot Wheels.
Yes. Hot Wheels.
I'm gonna
That's
skip
code
this next
word.
one.
Let's go play Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels. I've got a lot of bad ones. This one is it bad to threaten my spouse with divorce or murder? What?
No.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Do
horrible.
it all the time.
No, probably not.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably not.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
better
this
those
one-
two than well, no, I guess not. No, that's bad.
Go with divorce. If that's
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're gonna choose one or the other,
If you gotta threaten your wife,
illegal.
and if
If
this
you
is
gotta
you,
threaten
I'm
your
guessing
wife,
she's already
don't make
gone.
it a felony. You know what I mean? That's
Why not?
One, you get a restraining order. The
Bing.
other,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Slap the comedian. I think that's the most important thing to know.
That's going to be a euphemism pretty soon. I'm going to go. Yeah. What are you doing? I'm going to go slap the comic.
You know what? When I'm asking my wife,
Is that what you're doing in the bathroom by yourself?
Yeah.
If we're in mixed company, I'm going to say, honey, I think we need to slap the comedian. What?
Honey, let's go.
And she'd be like,
slap.
Honey,
Well,
let's
then-
go slap the comedian.
And she'd be like, "You mean with Hot Wheels track?"
That's right. Play-Doh.
Perfect. This
Let's
is all coming
let's
together
hit the
nicely.
comedian with some Play-Doh. So,
Yeah.
okay. Joe, this one is very pertinent for you and I. And maybe Donna, I don't know. My children think I'm their ATM. Is there a good way to
No.
ease them out of this?
Is this a marriage question?
Well, marriage and children and family.
Oh, you're making it broader every day? Is that how it is? And now we're doing.
It's always
We've had parenting questions.
for 2 years, Joe.
I
2
don't know.
years.
It's been a
The
while.
question has been write down a question about a marriage or bring up children in a marriage.
All
that
right.
has been since as long as I've been
Absolutely,
doing this. That's the question.
absolutely. That does not in any way say that they're married. Okay. Anyway, so the question is, how you just stop doing it. Tell them you're going to stop doing it, and then stop doing it.
Have you done that?
And I don't think that ever ends.
Have you done that, Joe?
No,
Me either.
no, we still give them money.
We pay for everything, and I would like to stop.
It
But then
carries over, guys. When you have grandkids, you give them money too.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just I'm paying the rent, I'm paying everything, and I'm paying. I mean, mine's still in college, but
Right.
even the gap, even I get the credit card bill at the end of the month that's supposed to be emergencies, and there's 14 Grubhubs on there, and I'm paying it.
Emergency.
It was an
grub-
emergency.
Oh, see, now we don't pay anymore for that stuff. They're on their own. They pay their own rent. They pay for their own. They pay for. Well, that's about it, actually.
All right,
their
here's
own
a question.
food. Their
Here's
own
a
food.
question.
They
Yeah.
both
When
have
you-
their own insurance, so they're both pretty independent. But every once in a while, they do run into money troubles, and we will help them out. So
Yeah.
If
Donna?
if you guys are all going out to dinner together and your adult kids are out to dinner with you, do you pay?
Yes.
Yep.
Does that
My
ever end?
parents still pay.
that
when
will
we all
never
go
end.
out.
That will never. What
Do
you
your
say?
parents still pay for you?
My parents still pay for all of us when we go out.
I think that'll all. My daughter always tries to pay. She's always like, "I got this." I'm like, "No, you don't.
No.
Save this. Do you know how hard it is for people your generation to make money? You guys still have the same minimum wage I had. You save your money, okay? So
Yeah.
I feel like that will never end.
I don't-
Not till you're dead.
I feel like obligated. I feel like no, I'm not taking my kids' money. Like I don't want to take money from my kids.
Yeah, no, of
well,
course.
I just want to.
Even though they're 40.
Right. I just want to look like a big shot.
Oh, okay.
I got
There
it.
you go. There you go. I got it.
I have paid when my parents were there, but 99% of the time, they got a bunch of money anyway. What the hell? I don't care. So,
Well,
and my daughter knows I'm paying for everybody at this table when we're there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just
This
how
guy-
it is.
Timmy's got a good one. He says, "Yeah, I think it's awesome to be able to play. I usually have to slip my card to the waitress though, right? Because they're going to try and pay for you. Yeah. I tried that with my parents a long time ago when we were younger, and my dad was mad at me for a month. Didn't speak
Yeah,
to
no,
me.
my parents would be like, "What are you doing? Stop doing it.
right.
You know, don't do that. Why are you doing it? You know, we've got a lot, blah, blah, blah." So, but if your parents are broke, then you want to, like, my father-in-law, before he died, we started paying quite a bit there. But he felt like he wanted to pay though. Because he felt like he should pay. And I say you give him that. You know?
I don't think that ever stops. I think as far as weaning your kids off of everything, if they're asking you for money, that's a different thing, as opposed to you paying for stuff. Because most of the time we offer to pay for things, or we just assume we're going to pay for things, and those are the things. But if they're asking you for money all the time, that'll have to stop at some point. You can't just pay for everything. You've got to cut them off and let them live on their own, right?
Well,
I think when they're living on their own, they should be able to afford living on their own.
They should be able to afford a place to stay, food, and whatever they need to survive, and then some sort of transportation way. Now, most parents these days are giving or helping pay for a car because cars are so expensive. I knew some college graduate who doesn't have a good job yet can't really afford one. So I know
my thing is, because my daughter is in the middle of college. So obviously we're paying for the college.
Yep.
She has a car, the insurance, and you want to wean them as time goes on.
Sure.
But the weaning is going, like, as I said, like I told her, you have a debit card, you have a job, you have money. So all these other things pay for yourself, but then she'll just slip them on the credit card. And I ain't saying nothing.
You can't, and that's another thing. You got to be on the same page with your spouse on this one. Don't you think, Donna? That's so important.
Yeah,
We are but
at least where you guys know what you're doing. Don't be secretive. I had one who the kid was like maybe 30, and one of the parents was like paying for bills and stuff, and the other parent didn't know about it.
No. Yeah. See, that's the thing. You can't do that. You have to know about it. You have to make a plan on that. I usually just tell my kids if they ask for money and I say, okay, I'll give it to you. But every time I do this, I love you a little less. And
that is the way to go. Yes. Yes. And you're down to that last
that
little
doesn't
bit of
trigger any child trauma or anything.
Right. Yeah. So,
well, my daughter had a problem this morning. She texted me. We've changed. She got in a car accident and she's okay, where she wrecked the car we had given her. And because cars are so expensive, a buddy of mine owns a car lot. So I just bought a 2009 Cube for like $4,000, just an old Cube. And I gave that to her. It runs fine, but now it's got a problem. You touch the handle and the alarm goes off. So now, like twice a night, where she lives at the dorm, this car is going off, and she's like, "This car," and I said, "That's because somebody's trying to get in your car. That's why.
Yeah.
The car's been in the garage here. Nobody's trying to get into it. So you got to get up and turn it off every time."
They're really tempted to take that car.
Not take the car. They're just, people are trying to see what they can. They're trying all the cars to see what they can steal out of cars as they walk by. It's in the middle of a parking lot, in the middle of a city. You know what I mean? So or homeless
they're just
people
going around
have a place to sleep.
You just tell her that every time she hears that siren, that's a reminder of what a crappy driver she is.
No, yeah, that's right. Yes. Oh no, she. Here's what she said: icy roads. She's driving 75, and later she goes, "I wondered why. I mean, the roads are total ice." She goes, "I wonder why everybody was going slow with their flashers on." Well, at that age too, you know, at that age, when they don't stop pushing the gas until they literally have to. It is like that stoplight is 10 feet away. Now I slam on the brake, you know, so.
Well, if you let off the gas, how are you going to get to where you're going?
That's right. So I know, but they learn. She's fine. And now she just drives a 100 times crappier car.
Good. That's
because
lesson learned.
Well, if I'd have bought her a nice car, then first of all, my insurance goes up $2,000 a year, and she has a nice car. So, okay, next, are you ready? I think we figured that out. We haven't figured out anything. How do you do it, by the way? How do you get them off the ATM? The money.
You just tell them at some point you've got to live on your own. We're not going to do it.
Say no.
Say no.
Wow. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. Okay, so I just figured we'd just pay forever. Forever. So move back in, hang out here. My 5-year-old called. Here you go. Another Joe question. My 5-year-old called a teacher an effing meanie the other day. How do you handle this?
Well, you talk to the effing teacher, first of all.
Yeah, you tell that bitch to get off her high horse. Yeah, be nicer.
Tell that teacher to stop it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. What kind of stupid teacher?
That's very simple. You just tell your kids not to say those words. Those are grown-up words, and then you try yourself to try and stop saying them, which doesn't always work real well.
Which would be best if you're not saying them all the time. You're
I swear a lot in normal conversation in normal life. I do, and when the kids were really young, I tried my darndest to stop, and I used to tell them the same thing because I got in that exact same situation, and it was the true story. And I tell it on stage because it really happened when my oldest was a little bitty girl, about 3 years old. I remember looking out the back window. I may have told this on this show. And she said, "Can I go outside and play?" And my wife was like, "Wait, no, honey, it's raining outside." And she looked outside and went, "Effing rain." Yeah. And my wife went, "What did you say?" And she was like, "Effing rain." And she's like, "We do not talk like that." And she was like, "Daddy does." So true story. So you got to be careful. But I always used to tell my kids, and this was, and when they were, let's see, we're talking 5, he can understand this, or she. You should always use your words to express yourself and don't use swear words or cuss words, because that's what you use that's what you use when you're not smart enough to come up with the right word. So if you start using those at an early age, you're never going to be smart because there's so many better words you can use.
If you start cussing at an early age, you're never going to be smart.
Never going to be smart.
We always said, don't say dirty words.
You're a dummy.
We always said, don't use dirty words. Start punching. Start hitting.
That's another one. Starting to learn how to hit instead of just
hit instead. Because
whenever you get frustrated, don't swear. Just slap Chris Rock.
That's right. Now, hey, my daughter has never heard me say a really dirty word in her life.
She's never seen your act?
No, she's never. Of course not. No, and she still hasn't. But here's the funny thing. My wife cursed a little bit. So my daughter always grew up and she would never, and she was so against cursing. And then in high school, she's at the Gatton Academy and they're cursing up a storm. So we're all playing games at Christmas, my mom and everybody there, and something went wrong in the card game and she went, "Mother," real loud in front of grandma, in front of everybody. And we fell out laughing. Well, she was 18. I mean, and she was so embarrassed that she has not done that again. Now, her partner has a tendency to curse out of nowhere, just for no reason. There's no, just we're sitting in the car, we're at dinner, just whip it out. Doesn't matter.
What are your rules on that, Donna? What were your family rules on cursing?
I'm with the they'll do what you do, and I'm not really big on cussing, and I actually do consider it words for dummies, and so I'm like I think we can think up more intelligent words. So when my kids were little, I think because I don't really do that, they just never really picked it up. Like they can cuss. They're like 30 something now. They still don't cuss much. Like they still
Around
don't really
you.
Yeah, as far as I know. And then my granddaughter is 14 and she'll like censor herself. Like she'll, at least around me, she will not say cuss words. Like I don't have to say, don't say that. She'll just not do it.
Say that, yeah.
And so I don't know, maybe it's like who you are, and if that's what you do, your kids are gonna think that's what you do.
That's it. They learn from you.
I know that I've always said there's a place for things. And like my grandma's house is in that place, or in mixed company or stuff like that. Joe and I are hanging out in the ship. We might curse a little bit, the adult show. But other than that, I like to be reticent of where I am and how the world is going to feel about who I am by how I'm talking, which is why I rarely curse except for in the adult show or when Joe and I are hanging out.
As a stand-up comic, a well-placed curse word can really accentuate a punchline.
Yeah. I have a bit that the F word, it doesn't work without it.
Yeah, I got a couple like that. I got a couple to maybe 400 of those.
Yeah.
So
my entire act. That's the only thing.
Yeah, my whole, when you get right down.
Cussing and the cussing.
Well, I will tell you this. When I worked with Screech 100 years ago before he died, he asked me at the end of his show, he goes, "Hey, do you have any tips?" I said, the F word is not the only punchline. Every one of his bits was, "So I told Zach, F you." And then the next punchline was, "Well, then I told them F you." And then I said, F, and I said, there are other punchlines besides, which is why half this crowd is gone at the end of your show. You know what I mean?
Let's not disparage people. Let's not.
Not disparaging. He's a nice guy. We helped him. He got better.
He did.
Hey, one more question, and then I've got 15 different weird quizzes. Here we go. For our 2-year anniversary, we're going to go through 4 different things in 10 minutes. How old is too old to let your kids sleep in bed with mom and dad? How old is too old?
Boy, I think that's subjective.
31.
I'm gonna cut it. Yeah,
that's like situational too. What if you have a hotel room, you have one bed, and everybody's in there, and you're like, let's, that's all we got.
I'm not sure that's what they mean. I'm thinking
that's not what they mean. I think they're talking about at home.
When your kids growing up, sleeping in bed with mom, dad. Some people never get them out. My parents, not one time in my life did I sleep in the bed with my mom and dad.
That you know of?
No.
Because it was probably when you were a little bitty baby.
Nope.
Yeah, we were the same way. We didn't let our kids sleep with us for
they told me.
A pretty young age.
My parents told me.
Yeah.
There's that. What about like if they get scared and come into your room at night?
Oh, that's a different story.
I couldn't do that either. My parents would say, lay on the floor outside the door. I had to lay on the floor. They put a lock on their door so we couldn't get in. And also because my dad had a lot of guns. But no, I would knock on the door, frightened to death, and they'd say, just lay on the floor right here in the hall.
You're on your own, kid. Bye.
Did they get you maybe a little water dish or something?
Nope. Nope. Nothing. Never once. It was crib, my own bed. Never once was I in the bed with my mom.
Not even if you're like nervous. Like I heard a noise.
Yeah, no, I mean it was wild.
They're like, too bad.
Yeah, no.
Well, I think that's a
burglars.
generational thing. I think that's a thing that they used to teach was like the quicker you get your kids out of your bed, the quicker they're going to be independent. Blah blah blah. Yada yada. I don't think. I guess there gets to be an age when it's kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
they're done with you after a while.
Usually don't want it after a certain time.
By the time somebody's 10, 11, 12, they're like, ugh, I'm done with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
We let our daughter sleep with us anytime she wanted, starting when she could climb out of the crib. you know what I mean? Which she did pretty quick. Or we laid down with her, just fell asleep. And I was gone a lot too. So it was comforting for my wife to have her in the bed. So, and she did that off and on till she was 11-ish. And then she's like, suddenly she just never showed up again. And then you miss it. You're like, oh my God, you want to come play with us? No. You know,
I remember our kid wanted to do what our kids wanted to, they wanted to get out of the crib at a very early age because they wanted to sleep with us. And we were like, no, we don't want that. So we got them a cat to put in the crib with them because
on their face.
That's a good idea.
Best, yeah.
We were good parents.
We made sure she stayed in the crib. We had these little, we called them love bands that they were
You
metal.
tied your kid to a crib? What the hell?
It wasn't a chain. It was more like a jewelry.
God.
And it hooked right to the, then she could never.
Horrible.
Well,
I had my kids on leashes at the mall. Like the armband to my armband, there's a long springy cord, and you're walking around, and they're on like.
You're a
leasher? I see people on cruise ships and they put their kids on leashes, and I've had people go, "Man, that's just horrible." I'm like, "Really? I think it's a good idea on a cruise ship."
They don't wander far.
Okay, they will get lost. Oh man, that'd be terrifying. Yeah. I lost my
cruise ship. They just let their kids run at 6. Where's your kid? I don't know. I saw 2 kids, 7 maybe, together running around the ship alone the other day.
Ordering drinks, the whole deal.
Yeah, ordering drinks. Yeah, it was terrible. In the casino.
In the casino, yep, right.
Yep.
You can't.
I'm telling you, it's horrible.
Watch your kids. Yeah.
All right. Okay, first, let's look at this. This is 5 reasons you're still attracted to crazy people.
No, it's 5 reasons you still attract crazy people.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. You still attract crazy people. And this is
you're crazy
women.
yourself. Reason number 1. We're done.
That would be.
So women never be this. Women never be nice. you will attract crazy people.
There is such a thing as pathologically nice.
Yep.
You're too nice, and that is a problem.
That is a problem. But this sounds to me like you should never be nice. You just
this is a horrible thing.
Or you're honest. Being honest, also bad.
This isn't good.
You're honest. Now, this one I agree with. You see the good in everyone. That.
Well, see, all of these are like good up to a point, and then people take them to the extreme, and then it causes a problem.
Well, they all make the point that you have to know who somebody is. You can't be gullible. That you can be nice and honest and see good in people, but when you see a person who's horrible, you have to recognize it.
This reminds me of the premise of Michael McKean in The Good Place, where he tried to do everything really nice, and he let the kids bully him, and he tried to do everything perfect, and he always had positive things to say about everybody because he wanted to get into heaven. Did you ever see The Good Place? It's a great show.
Michael McKean was not in The Good Place.
It was good. It was a great show. It was on NBC. I don't know where it's on.
Michael McKean was not in The Good Place. No.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
The series Good Place?
Yep. He was a character. Look it up.
I saw that entire series. You're nuts. Okay, so
we'll put money on
here's my thing. Now, speaking of this, we're in Boston a couple weeks ago. My daughter with her partner, and a guy comes up to my daughter and says, "Hey, he's homeless." He goes, "I need $25 for kidney dialysis." My daughter's like, "Oh, I don't have any money." He goes, "Well, we could go to an ATM and you could use your debit card." She's on the way to do it. And her partner runs up and goes, "Get out of here. What do you get away?" She's like, "What are you, nuts? You're going to get to an ATM. You're going to tell you she's going to bash you in the head. What are you, crazy? You can't do that." She's like, "Oh, well, he's really sound like he needed it."
Yeah. See, that's it. By the way, he was Doug Forsett in The Good Place.
He was Doug. I don't remember what season.
I thought you saw the whole thing.
I did. I don't remember that at all. Now, here's the only good one. You ignore warning signs. That's the good one.
That's a good one.
So there's in therapy land, it's called minimize and justify. When you minimize and justify bad behavior, like, "Oh, but they're just having a stressed out day." That's like the comedian slap. Like, "Oh, he just loved his wife so much." When you're minimizing and justifying, it's.
Yep. They refuse to see the signs. And I think that's like that somebody's going to hit you over the head in an ATM. Now, here's even more important. Speaking of Joe and I, 13
Isn't this like
signs of
every
a
husband?
narcissistic husband. He acts better than everyone else.
What if he is?
What if I am?
What if
That's-
I am? I'm just
What if
saying.
I am? And I am. So
I'm better than
yeah,
most people.
but you're not. But if you are, you're not supposed to act like you are.
Oh, I got it. Okay. That
If
makes
you know you're better than everybody, it
Yeah.
should be apparent at all times, so you don't have to act like it, because then you're a poser, right?
right.
It's like, look what I got. Look what I did. I hear
He
that
doesn't-
if you did the dishes. Look what I did.
Yeah. See?
Like,
Oh, look at that idiot. So
you
he
don't
doesn't
get to have a applause for doing dishes. Okay.
That's right.
Well,
No.
you know what? I'm reading these, and I am not very narcissistic. I need to up my narcissism here.
You're not in the club. You
Yeah.
need to get in the club.
I don't think your opinion matters here, Joe. I don't think I
Number
want to
two,
hear
he
it.
doesn't listen to your opinion. I guess my question on that is, who could listen that much?
Who could listen that much? There's so many opinions. What I want to know is how women out there, would you live, or even men, with someone who just would never take your opinion at all? And I'm sure I've done this, but
You know, as I read this, I think I'm married to a narcissistic wife.
oh, yeah, but
She never listens to my opinions, and I've got a lot of them.
Oh my gosh. Every one of these. It's all we do is roll our eyes. All we do. That's
Yeah.
all we do. To 1 to 2 to 3.
What's
Just
number three?
he
Roll
needs to be right every time.
Again, what if he is?
Yes. I don't need it. Because I am right every time. There's no
but look at
need.
this. You can tell him 2 + 2 = 4, and he'll argue with you and say no. 2 + 2 = 5.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
my
that's what's
wife and I
happening
talk
everywhere right
about-
now. We're
My
all
wife and I
becoming
talk
narcissists.
about people that we're friends with,
Yeah.
and some are actual comics, where even when you agree with them, they argue with you.
Yeah.
You tell them exactly what they said to you, yes, and they'll go, "No, wait a minute," and they'll be so contrary that
But
it's just
rephrase
crazy.
exactly what you just said. Yeah. Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah, but then say you're wrong, even though you said what they said.
Yeah.
You're wrong still, even though you agreed with them. So he controls you is interesting. Controlling is a terrible thing. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it is terrible. And I'm the opposite on that. I actually wish my wife would actually do crazier stuff. You know, I don't care.
Would you let her go out in the house in something really tight?
That's on her if she wants to. Yeah, whatever. You know, if she wants to wear something really tight, let her wear something really tight. I don't care.
yeah, I mean, but now here's the
Not
question
my
though.
daughter, she's my wife. You know, it's like of 30+ years.
Yeah, you shouldn't be telling an adult, but women do tell guys, like, you can't wear that. You can't wear
All the
that.
time.
My
I get
wife
told that.
never tells me. As a matter of fact, I have to. I'm colorblind, first of all, so I have to ask her if what I'm wearing looks nice, and she's like, "Yeah, it looks great." And I'm like, "Okay, good." And then sometimes I think she's messing with me, but I'll wear it anyway.
That'll be funny.
She stopped doing that to me.
He sets you up.
She stopped telling me what to wear because I wear such crazy stuff now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. Like she just gave up. She's like,
She
I
gave
don't
up. Yes.
I try and be reasonable about things. Sometimes we try and make practical decisions, but I would not control her. I'd give her the option of this or that if she was asking about something, but I would never do that. So
My wife
gaslighting.
asks me all the time, how
Yep.
does she look in this or that?
Yep.
And I'm honest to the point of usually flattering,
Mhm.
unless it is weird. Like it's
Yeah.
something I know she knows is weird. Like,
Yeah.
why is that sticking out of the side of it? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know. But if it looks fine, it looks fine. You know, which pair of shoes do you like? I'll give her my honest opinion. I like
You know what my husband does? He
What?
does laundry, right? He
Yeah.
likes to do laundry. If he finds something of mine that he can't figure out how to hang, it will disappear.
Oh my God.
And I'll be like, where's
That's
that shirt? And he's like,
Where's my underwear?
But
I
it
can't
don't
hang
put
it
it.
right. I can't hang
but
it.
like if it's one of those spaghetti strap mixy
Yeah,
matchy,
hard,
you know,
hard to hang. Yeah.
women wear like things and he can't find out loudly. He'll be like, just throw it away.
Yep.
And I'm like, where's my outfit? He's like, no.
I think it's more crazy. There's a husband that does laundry because
Yeah, that's
he
wild.
loves to do laundry.
I do laundry.
Yes.
I find it nice. I find it very soothing to do laundry. Yeah.
Laundry and vacuuming. He loves laundry and
Not so
vacuuming.
much that. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm out.
number 5.
What is gaslighting? What is that exactly?
I tell you, as a matter of fact, I gaslighted my wife this morning, and I'll tell you exactly. Here's
And he's
exactly
so
what it was.
proud.
Oh, it was perfect. It was hysterical because she knows better. But this morning, we when she gets up and goes to work, I usually get up at the same time so that we can make the bed together. So that it takes 30 seconds. So this morning, we got up to make the bed. She threw the cover off, and I said, "Look at what you did." She goes, "What?" And I said, "You pushed all the sheets over on my side to make me look bad."
That's gaslighting.
That's gaslighting.
Oh.
That's gaslighting.
Like, look what you did. You
Look
did
what
this
you
horrible
did.
thing. And they're
You
like,
did this horrible thing to me, or else you did. Yeah. So, but that's exactly what I said to her. That's gaslighting. And I
or
can
it
see,
goes like this. If
Yeah.
you want, like, where do you want to go to dinner? Oh, I'd like to go eat tacos. You don't like tacos.
bingo.
Yeah, I do. I like tacos.
Mm.
No, last time we went, you said you don't like
Yep.
tacos. I know you don't like tacos. You don't
Yeah,
like them at all. And so you're like,
Doubt. Putting
No,
doubt.
it's not like
That
tacos.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gaslighting. Making you
Okay.
doubt yourself.
He
Making you
needs
think. you're wrong.
admiration.
Yeah.
I do not need any admiration because
Oh, yeah.
I ain't getting any, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's not even a point.
In my house, you're lucky to get a compliment. I will not compliment.
That's right. He shows no empathy. Sometimes
would
people
marry
can be a
that?
little over empathetic these days.
Yeah. It's
Don't-
It's like
marry
toxic
someone-
empathy.
No one should marry someone who shows no empathy. Like,
Yeah.
why are you marrying someone who shows no empathy? That's ridiculous.
because they're strong. You want to marry somebody who's strong, who shows strength all the time.
Look at last time I gaslighted.
I got sprayed with
Somebody
air
got
freshener.
sprayed
Yeah, that's a
with
different type of
air freshener.
gaslighting, Patrick. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Last time I gaslit, I had that lighter and it lit my pants on fire.
Yeah,
Like,
that
that's
was
a different
yeah.
gaslighting.
He used to do that. Yeah.
Wrong.
I've never done that. Does it work?
Wrong.
Does that work? Can you light your stinkers?
Yeah, there was a whole game show in Japan that was the challenge of
Yeah.
who has the biggest flame.
Wow. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Japan has some weird game shows.
And that really depends on what you eat. But go ahead.
That's
Anyway.
true. If you eat something, more beans, more flame.
More beans,
Right.
more flame. Yeah.
Okay. He blames
More
you.
fiber. Mhm. Okay.
This is one thing that I my goal in life, and every time I mention it, is why is it in every argument when people get married, the first thing you have to do is lay blame. That's the first there. You cannot move on with this argument until somebody is blamed. That's the thing that we have stopped doing over the
Good,
past few
Because
years.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
The
ridiculous.
blame game is for 12-year-olds.
Yeah,
not
but I
for
still see it
That's,
on
well,
at work.
what do you think all these news shows do now?
Yeah.
Everybody has to blame everybody else for everything. Every news shows, everybody's blaming everybody for all the problems. And it's always the other side. And it's just, we've become so
Yeah.
polarized that nobody can take responsibility for anything. It's always somebody else's fault, and we have to blame someone. We've become that way as a society because somebody has poisoned our discourse. I'm not going to say who, Russia.
somebody.
Well, and I don't see any reason to lay blame at all. If you're going to fix a problem,
Yeah,
Fix
you don't
the
need to
problem.
blame.
you don't have to go, let's see who made the big mistake here,
Right.
unless they're going to do it again, unless
Yeah,
they're,
right.
but you don't have to, but everybody's got to, the blame has to be first. And I don't take it anymore. If I'm in a situation and there's things, so it's like, well, somebody, I said, no, we're not doing that. We're not going to say somebody did this or somebody did that or that. We're going to see how we're going to move forward from this. And my life has been better because of it. He doesn't feel guilt and he acts like a victim. This guy's great.
Sounds
He's a
like a winner.
narcissist. These are all classic narcissism traits, Yeah.
I always
Yes,
feel
feel
guilt.
guilty. He's obviously not Catholic.
Yeah. I mean, I'm very guilty at all times.
I am too.
And I don't know, do I ever feel like a victim? Do you ever feel like a victim? I feel like I
Victims
won.
complain a lot. So think like complain and like, why does this happen to me? Why do people
Right,
do
that's a
this to me?
victim,
Why
yeah.
do people like have it? So that's a victim thinking, and that's not good.
My dad used to always say, quit feeling sorry for yourself. That was it back then. Quit feeling sorry for yourself.
Or I'll give you something to feel sorry about.
No, he wasn't like that. He was
Oh, look at number 13.
Yeah.
He enjoys your pain.
Wow.
Okay, that's a little extreme, right?
That is way extreme. That is now we're into psychopath.
But then again, isn't that why we have safe words?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Because you may enjoy your pain too.
your
after
pain.
pain.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
That one hurts a ton, is what it does. So, okay, we've been doing this for a long time, kids. I'm going to turn this off.
It was fun.
Remove that. So
We
now
got
let
all
me
your
say
questions.
this before we go on, and that is that we're going to now, since Donna and I are so busy, we're going to do this show once a month. We hope everybody joins us. It'll be the last Wednesday, basically, of every month. No matter where we are, we'll try. Joe, if you can come, we want to have you here. And
Love
of
to
course,
be here.
also Patty has been here sometimes too, because we
Cool.
always love
So
doing this.
nice.
It's just our lives are so busy. So, Joe, where are you to next?
Yep.
Joe,
What?
where are you to next?
I'm heading out on a ship on Saturday.
What ship?
Mardi Gras.
Wow, that's the bit. Nobody will give me that. It's too fancy.
It's a big ship. So
Yeah, wow,
that's great.
That's exciting. That's
I thought they're all big. I
This
didn't know
one's
they were big.
extremely big. This one holds 5,200 guests.
yeah.
It's a
It
lot.
has a
Of
roller coaster.
Yeah, it has a roller coaster. I've been on it. Yeah.
Oh, you've been on it.
Yeah.
I get none of this. I'm still working the ships that they I'm on the Fantasy next month. It's sitting. It's grounded in Helsinki. That's the ship I'm working. That's
I'm on the Jubilee, so
Yeah.
that's how bad things are.
The
for me.
Jubilee's coming out, the new one.
Oh, that's right.
That's right, the new
That's
Jubilee.
right. It's
You guys
coming
know a
back.
lot about cruise ships. You guys are like cruise ship.
I'm on the.
It's
I'm on
only
the-
been 20 years, Donna. I've
Yeah,
only
we've
been
been doing this
working
for a while.
cruises for
Wow.
20 years. By the way, I'm actually Saturday going to a celebrity ship.
Oh, which celebrity?
The Celebrity Reflection.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
I've never worked for a celebrity before, so we're going to see how quickly
Well.
I'm fired. That's it's called. How quickly is Brad fired? That's the how many cruises does he get before? Because
Yeah.
I say it on Don. I say this on Carnival. I say, look, everybody, Carnival's a great cruise line because comedians have never been fired for being offensive.
True.
I can't think of any comic because they offended somebody, you can be fired. You can be fired for sleeping with people doing their stuff. Other cruise lines, they will fire you in a second for offending two people. And,
Really?
Which has
Yeah.
happened to me on two cruises.
Make sure you do all that political material. Yeah.
Yes, I'll
I
do all my
thought
political
Comedians
stuff.
always offend somebody.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I
And
thought
if
that's
you-
part of the thing. You got to offend somebody.
Well, I heard they changed their policies on celebrity though. You can offend people, but if you do, you're allowed to get slapped.
That's right. They can come up on stage and slap you
Okay,
during
there
the
you
show. That's
Yeah.
please do.
There
No, I
you
saw-
go.
I was on a Regent ship, the one when I got fired for being dirty or something, where during the country show, this group hated the country show so bad because they hated country and they were threatening the assistant cruise director. One guy actually went like this, and he was like 90. I don't know why he's going to punch this 30-year-old. He actually went like this. This show is terrible, and how dare you have this on this ship? And this is a respectable cruise line. And the guy's like, "What are you doing?" So, I mean, that's how they get on ships sometimes. Is they really get it. I know. Can you believe it? Okay.
Great, great.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been fantastic. We'll see you next month. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Donna.
Thank
Go
you.
see Donna at her Ohana WC, which I still don't understand why the Hawaiian thing. Okay, bye.